Welcome to GCCars. My name is Eric.
And I'm Jesse, and this right here is one really fast EV.
The EV6 GT.
Oh.
There we go. What is red, has almost 600 horsepower to 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds and beats a Lamborghini?
A Porsche.
A Kia.
Oh.
I was actually going for Ferrari there because of it. Whatever. Close enough. A Kia, the all-new EV6 GT, 576 horsepower, 3.2 seconds. Literally, that's the second fastest car on the channel after the E63S. And man, this will scramble our brains today.
And it beats all the Taycans versus, except for the Turbo.
And maybe the Turbo S. I don't know about the Turbo, but those are like $250,000 almost.
Yeah.
So I think we can give the win here to the $75,000 EV6. I think that's a fair enough. But also, as always, we're going to take a look at the exterior first. We're going to take a look at the interior, and then we're going to drive it on the fun roads. We're going to go for sports car roads today and see how engaging this vehicle is. And as always, if you like it, like and subscribe to miss more videos. Anyhow.
So, Runway Red.
Runway Red.
This car puts the run in runway.
It does.
It really does.
It is kind of fast. You kind of expect it to take off at some point if it wouldn't weigh as much as an EV does, which is like 4,500 pounds. But at least we have no memory seats to save that weight.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. I know. So the EV6 is very interesting in terms of its design. It's very kind of out there. I love the front end.
I really do like the front end.
It's very sharp.
It has cool curves to it. The way, I mean, it has the typical EV wraparound kind of design.
Yeah, but I like how there's little cuts basically in the daytime running lights, so it looks a lot sharper. If you ever want to know, okay, is it an EV6 a regular one or is it a GT? Look for the 21-inch wheels, which look fantastic, I must say.
And the blank green calibers, which should have something there.
I like that they're green, but yeah, like a Kia logo or an EV6 logo.
I think
a
GT
logo.
I think a GT would look nice.
A GT would be kind of, it looks a little like you just did it yourself, you know, took out the wheel and it's like,
yeah,
pine a little. But moving along, first of all, the proportions are very kind of mid-engine.
Yes,
like
very short.
This will remind you, of course, it's taller than a Lamborghini,
yeah,
but you know, Lamborghinis don't look much different up in the front. And then we have, saying that about a Kia is crazy.
I know.
And then aerodynamics here on the back, we have this spoiler that kind of comes out on the side, illuminates all the bird poop that's on here when I park literally anywhere.
Yeah, we got a light under there.
Birds hate my cars, they just poop on it. Like literally, I was parked for 3 hours and 5 birds pooped on me. What the heck, guys?
It's just you, Eric.
Apparently don't like me, but the rear end, do we like the rear end?
I'm conflicted.
It's different. It's different. So the cool thing is, if you park this next to any other car in a parking lot, this thing looks like it's from 2035, which is pretty sick. But it's kind of in contrast to the front end. The front end is very kind of sharp and edgy and close.
It seems fast. The rear end to me seems more like family.
It's thick.
Like, I don't want to say Prius, but like.
I mean, the new Prius is sexy.
Okay, but like this.
It's thick.
It's thick. She tick.
We like thick Kias, and this isn't thick.
And overall, again,
also,
my usual nitpick, I'm not a fan of all the shiny black, but that's just
look at that reverse light. It looks kind of like a Formula 1 kind of like brake light kind of regen thing.
So in one review, we've compared an EV6 to a Formula 1 car and a Lamborghini, a Kia car.
Brave new world, I'll tell you that. Shall we take a look at the interior?
Yes, let's go.
Alrighty, EV6 GT interior.
Holy piano black.
So I reviewed the original EV6 last year, I think. This is mostly the same, and yeah, there's a lot of piano black. The good news is though, I've seen some footage of the new EV9 SUV coming, and they got rid of the piano black. They get rid of this kind of split infotainment touchscreen thing, so it's all more physical. We have more normal stuff, but at least it's not as bad as in the Kia Niro. Remember the whole door panel was
my god. Don't even get me started on PTSD.
Right? I do like this though. Like from a functionality and looks wise,
it's unique.
Really cool. We have a lot of space. It looks good. The steering wheel is kind of sick, especially with that GT button.
We have the same infotainment from the Telluride, which I actually enjoyed.
Which is a good thing, right? I mean, once again, like you said in the Telluride, can be a little far.
It's far.
But overall, it works really well. But yeah, I like it. For the EV6, really the biggest thing for the GT are these new bucket seats, right? So we get the bucket seats with this sick green lime accent, which looks, I think, really good. They're tight. Personally, I'm very comfy in them. Yeah,
so Eric weighs about 135, 5'7",
135 pounds, gained 10 pounds already. Here you go.
Good for you.
Thank you.
I'm about 5'10", 165-ish. So, and I'm in like decent shape. Anyone bigger than me, yeah, whatever. Anyone bigger than me, either body fat wise or muscle wise,
it can get tight.
They're gonna find this area a bit tight.
There's a lot of bolstering on the sides, which can make it tight. So definitely you want to try that before ordering it first, probably.
No adjustability.
No adjustability. Everything's manual too. So they removed all the electronic stuff. So manual adjustments. I mean, probably I think if you buy an EV6 GT,
Not a
probably
deal
have
breaker.
yeah, I think it's fine. We still have our electronic roof though, because that's where we didn't want to save the weight. I think it's just probably the same one they take out of all the EV6s, and to redesign that to be non-electronic would have just cost a lot of money. Sick interior lighting, which
cool.
I tried to match to the green, but it's just not bright enough when it's green.
Nice suede on the door panels here.
Nice,
I think it's a suede.
Yeah, it's suede leather. It looks really nice. The materials in general are really nice.
And this center stack is very unique because you have a gap here, which we'll throw some B-roll in.
Yeah,
we
it's
have
like
a gap
floating.
here. Yeah, I've never seen that before.
With a lot of storage at the bottom. I just wish, because we have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay wired, and it's like all the way down there. So unless you have a huge cable which you can route here and you have like some clubs, you kind of have to put your phone in the bottom of the shelf. I mean, it's nice that you have so much storage, just a little cumbersome.
What I do find out is I like the location of this wireless charging pad.
I hate it.
Go ahead. I think it's kind of convenient, but if you're using your wireless CarPlay and you want to keep your phone down here, I mean, if you're wired, you're charging.
You can't go wireless, right? So it's wired CarPlay.
Right. So if you wire it,
you're charging anyway. Go ahead.
I hate wired CarPlay and then wireless charging pads. Like, you're not going to use the charging pad.
No, but now you can charge while I'm CarPlaying, technically.
True.
But you know what I hate about this? It's way too convenient. This encourages texting and driving. And in the worst way possible. If it's down here, at least they can see something. People are just going to be like,
yeah.
Oh, there's a kid. Too bad. Killed 3 people. I'm going to redo this.
But it is a convenient location for the phone.
Which is bad.
Oh, I mean...
I like the Infiniti QX80 has a literal compartment.
You like something about the Infiniti?
Yeah, the QX80 was actually... I like the QX80.
He's an Infiniti hater.
I'm not a hater.
I mean, their infotainment sucks.
I'm a real infotainment. Yeah. Anyhow, EV6. But yeah, this is way too convenient. There's way too much piano black. This brushed aluminum or plastic. It's plastic. But it looks really nice. No ventilated seats either. We got heated and heated steering wheel. So there is some concessions you make when you go for the GT. But I don't think, unless you don't fit in the seat, I don't mind the concessions. It's still really nice. It looks very cool, I think. I like it. Of course, sunroof, like I said. Rear seats are a little flat.
A little flat, a little stiff.
Yeah, and because of the batteries on the floor, you do notice like, your knees are a little higher up, as they usually would be. I think you can still get comfy.
And that third seat is kind of a little bit torturous.
Yeah, the third seat is just like completely flat. The nice thing is you can recline a little bit, but you have so much space. Like it's very roomy. You notice that because there's no center console coming back. There's really the door panels are very slender. So there is plenty of space. Tiny ass windows. But
heated seats, 2 USB-Cs back there. No pockets in the rear of the seat.
Yeah. It's a little compromise.
And not really a lot of place to put anything back there.
Yeah, you kind of have to hold on to your phone. You can't really put it anywhere.
You do have the cup holders in the drop down.
Yeah, we kind of decide, is it cup holder, is it storage, which is a need.
It's cool.
And then storage, right? 24.4 cubic feet of space with the seat up and 48 cubic feet of space with the seats down, which is not that much. And because it's kind of slopes down, it'll be harder to fit in like bigger items. I moved with a Mach-E GT last year, and that's when I really noticed that, like the shape does compromise. But I think it works, and you can put on the second row from the back.
I think that's an aerodynamic thing, right? It's just...
Exactly. But, speaking of aerodynamics, should we see how quick this goes?
Oh, let's go do it.
Send it. Alrighty, out on the road in the Kia EV6 GT. Are you ready? Brake torque. Oh! Okay, that was still pretty hard. And it goes. Okay. Ooh, and it's slower down. So, we're at 49. We're at 49% battery. 48%. Yeah, we just lost one probably. And I think we both expected this to not be quite as fast anymore. Lose a bit of horsepower. It's gonna be all right. Nobody will see on video, and it's just.
Oh my god.
I love this. So, just for reference, we have a front and a rear motor, producing 576 horsepower, 545 pound-feet of torque, and that power comes from a 77.4, I think, kilowatt-hour battery, which allows us to, just chill. Or if we go into GT mode,
just right away. There's absolutely no delay. It's just incredible. And it gives 0 to 100 in 3.0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds officially.
Officially, according to Car and Driver, which omits like a 1-foot roll of 3.2 seconds. And it just freaking goes. And I love cyclists. Really, they're the most fun thing to see on a twisty road, going around a corner. Oh, and speaking of, you mentioned that already, right? It's very twitchy if you're in GT mode.
Oh,
I can literally
Look at that.
It's just instant, which is beautiful.
It's like if you're choking on something, you don't need the Heimlich. You just twitch.
Yeah, it's just kind of like.
Oh my god.
It's funny, it breaks a little longer than I'm actually breaking. I'm just stabbing.
I'm gonna go on Amazon Prime and order a neck brace.
I'll pay for it.
Oh man, that's a write-off.
Right? And it just goes. Yeah, this has a lot of power. That's what we meant, it's like,
It's just fun.
it's just speed is addicting. Like,
And we were talking about how, driving this car, it's okay, and let me just wait till you're done with that.
there we go. Finally some feedback.
Yeah, it's just, you're driving this vehicle,
Speed disappears.
you feel like you're going 40, but you're going 100.
Yeah, it's actually
kind of unreal.
It's quite unreal. And that's the combination of this being very quiet and like well isolated too.
It's almost dangerous.
Yeah, it kind of is, but that's what we like. That's what I like. But what I just kind of started to briefly talk about, I just said finally some feedback. This is ridiculously quick.
On the straight line.
Yes, but once you start pushing, once you start asking this car to be a little more, responsive, give you some feedback and like dynamically capable, is when it kind of starts falling apart a little bit, which is kind of a shame. Yeah, once you start kind of wanting to push this around turns, around corners, so you'll find that thanks in part to our Goodyear Eagle F1 tires, which are quite capable, like it has grip. But
But
man,
it doesn't inspire confidence.
yeah, it does not communicate with you at all. You really don't know what's going on. The steering weights up quite a lot, but it feels very artificial. Like,
It feels disconnected.
exactly, there's no rhyme or reason to why it weights up. It just kind of like does it, and I feel like it's more speed dependent than really like load dependent on the tires. You do feel, which is a little concerning, considering the lack of other feedback, you do feel the rear starting to move around a little bit. And while we sent it there earlier, you had the rear step out just that
Yep.
slight bit where it's like, oh, okay, something's happening. But if I'm going to push it a little bit here, I'm never feeling anything through the steering wheel at all. I'm just guessing.
You don't know what's too much.
Exactly, which is a shame because this is actually, especially once you're in the passenger seat, you will realize, this is actually quite fast around corners. This can haul ass through turns, but dynamically, it's just, they definitely went for the straight line speed and they didn't go for kind of like the sports car, it's not sports car, but athleticism. Yeah.
Which
Where
is
it's
where
just-
the Mach-E kind of pulls ahead with regards to...
Yeah, which is kind of like, if we're talking about segment competitors, the Mach-E GT is the one we've driven, which is a very fun car.
A lot
I
more
like it a lot,
expensive.
like 25 grand more. It's not quite as fast, but it is probably the most fun EV to drive in terms of like the SUV. Speaking of a Mach-E, there's one right there.
There
Hello,
you go.
Mr. Mach-E. And even this non-GT Mach-E will be dynamically more capable than this. It communicates with you. You can kind of guess what it will do, and then you can send it and kind of slide it a little bit, go to the limit. We haven't even had any tire squeal in this.
A little tiny bit there, but not really.
Yeah, true a little bit. But like once in the corner, like even I'm trying to wiggle the steering wheel to feel something, to give me any feedback, and I don't have anything. But at this point, I'm going to shut down this criticism. I'm just going to say this is not what the EV6 GT is meant to be. It is not meant to be a sports car. Let's evaluate it back from the fast car perspective, where it just, that's where it excels. Yeah, it's pretty fast.
That's 45% battery too. It's like,
That's 45% battery. It's ridiculous. Yeah, we have this beautiful GT mode, turns off traction control by default. Should you do that? Maybe not.
questionable.
But you can turn it back on quite easily. But I think it's time for you to hop in just after I had these couple more corners here, because I know this dynamically might not be quite as fun as a Mach-E. Yeah, it's still fun. It's still like going faster on turns. This doesn't get old.
It doesn't get old at all.
And it's like, I feel like straight line speed gets old. No feedback. I'm just disappointed. I'm sorry, I bring it up again. But it's still dynamically very capable, and I'm kind of sad that they didn't. I hate wasted potential. That's basically why I'm harping on this too much. It's not because it's bad. It's not. It's just I know this could be so much better. And I'm curious what the Ioniq 5N will be like, which will be the Hyundai version of this, right? Apparently they do a lot of funny little things to make that more engaging. Last send and then we'll send it to you. Oh, yes.
I mean, it does a lot well.
Oh yeah. Oh, it does a lot very well.
Wow.
It does a lot very well. And now we shall switch over to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Behind the wheel of this beast, this sleeper of a beast.
Your first time on video behind on this fun road on the sports car loop.
I'm just like,
Oh boy.
What is going on here?
I wasn't even like I was looking at you and I
weren't expecting
automatically straightened my neck. I didn't even do that. I was
You don't
just
need a
G4.
chiropractor. You just need a
Yeah.
Kia EV6 GT.
Yeah, would you just bend sideways for a second, please? And I just floored. Thank you. So this also has a drift mode.
Which we're not testing out.
Yeah, we didn't test. Unfortunately, we don't have a skid pad at home. We're not rich. But if you want to put it into rear-wheel drive, do skids. Apparently, it works really well. I've been told. But yeah, we do not want to get impounded or crash into a tree. So sorry, we cannot do that, unfortunately. But I believe that it's probably very fun and very good.
I can imagine.
Oh yeah.
So how do we feel about this suspension? I know that in sport mode it stiffens up a lot, so you feel
Like-
the bumps in your seat, but
Exactly. So the GT mode, like it's adaptive suspension, the GT mode does firm it up quite a bit. But honestly, especially in normal mode, I find it actually quite relaxing. You do feel like the imperfections in the road, like smaller, harsher bumps, like these little lines and where the concrete is cut a bit.
what you expect though?
Like we feel that, but I find the seats really dampen it quite well. Like it is honestly quite comfortable of a ride, I would personally say.
You don't expect it to float like a luxury sedan.
Exactly, it's still a sporty car, but even for that, I think it definitely rides better than the Mach-E. The Mach-E was kind of punishing, the GT. But this does ride a little better, and that kind of extends to noise as well. This is quiet.
It's quiet, very quiet, which is part of the reason why you don't realize how fast you're going.
Yeah, you was like, what was it? You asked me how fast we were going. I said 50, and it was like 80.
Yeah, and you were genuinely shocked.
And I was
kinda
just like,
wish we had that on
no
video.
way. I was like, no way we're going up. It just, like we said, speed just completely disappears. And add to that you have 576 horsepower just on your right foot. And you do tend to go quite fast. So yeah, just know where your license and registration is and have your lawyer on speed dial is what I generally recommend. We obviously would never, ever go even an ounce above the speed limit.
We go 500 the speed limit.
Right, because we're safe drivers. And suspension. Before we get into charging and range it, let's talk quickly about some of the tech, which is going to be quick.
It's gonna be it's great, just like the Telluride we just had. It's loaded. You got cameras in every angle of this car.
Exactly.
You've got your CarPlay. It is wired though, unfortunately, which we talked about.
Yes, but you have the Kia Hyundai Tech Suite.
Sweet.
So you have, first of all, cameras for all your wheels. You have 360, like three-dimensional cameras to park. You have
Turn signal cameras.
which I love.
We are missing the rear view LCD monitor.
Yes, they didn't put that in. That's so far only in the Palisade and the Hello.
Sorry,
right?
I just wanted to interrupt you there.
I feel like there's a risk of choking on your own tongue if you do this at the wrong time.
Don't eat while you're in this car.
I had to wait multiple times where he was taking a sip, and I was like, wait,
Yeah.
send it. And so tech-wise, really good. Auto steer on the highway, lane center, it's really good. Now, there is a drawback to this GT though, if you're looking at it in terms of the regular EV6 lineup, and that is the range. We've already talked about we're down to 42% now. This car officially has a range of just 330 kilometers.
That's below average.
Yeah, in the summer I was getting we had it quite warm. I was getting around 360, so a little over. But if you compare that to the regular EV6 GT, EV6, which gets 450 to 500, that is quite a drawback. And you know, we live in Toronto, so getting out to this road is about 120 kilometers alone. Then you go a couple of passes, and voila, you're down to a range where I have to recharge it on the way home because I wouldn't get home, which is a bit unfortunate. Now
That's summer. Imagine winter.
Yeah, in the winter you're gonna struggle to get 300, which is then pretty similar to the Mach-E GT, which also got kind of under 300 kilometers range. Like, is it worth it? Probably. It's pretty fun.
I mean, there aren't many competitors in the price range that offer. There aren't many competitors in general, right? We got the Mach-E, and one we haven't mentioned that you don't want to talk about it, the Tesla Model Y, which is actually almost as fast, and it's about $600 cheaper.
And
Food for thought. We haven't tested it. We haven't driven it.
because Tesla doesn't do any journalists, and they don't want to have anyone have an unbiased opinion about the cars, and a company that
Eric's butt hurt.
No, I'm just saying a company that has the policy of not engaging with any media and not having unbiased views, I wouldn't give them my money, but it's your money. So you decide. We'll try to get our hands on it from a private owner.
But we have to say it out of,
But it is a competitor.
Yes.
So there you go, journalistic integrity. It does exist, even though I personally would never recommend it.
And it has slightly better range as well.
Probably quite a bit, actually. Tesla's pretty good on range. But, come on, say it one more time.
And we definitely, we're still staying within the speed limit, of course, right?
Of course. And one thing I wanted to say, which I forgot, if you want to slow down a little bit, go to like 30. And just do a very quick, just couple quick send to the corner. You hear those electric motors really nicely. And it does sound quite nice.
I hope that comes across in the audio.
I hope so, yeah. So you can set like in pumped in audio, which is, let me actually set it up real quick, just so we have it once for the record. So you can have pumped in audio and you can decide between different ones. Let's do largest change and give it a quick one. Okay.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
It is pretty cool.
I've never heard that.
And go slow and then give it another one. That's dynamic, which is more ICE-like.
That's pretty loud. It's almost too loud, actually.
You can set it low. That's
Yeah.
the loudest one. And then we have stylish.
We just wait a second here. We're going into a corner. I like the first one, to be honest.
Yeah, the Cyber is kind of cool, but the reason I didn't use it is because we hear the electric motors by themselves, which aren't as loud,
It's kind of muted. It's nice, actually.
but it's kind of cool. I don't recall hearing them as much in the Mach-E GT, and that's really what we like. That's what I, as I'm more of a traditional car enthusiast. Like, I love EVs; they're really cool, but nothing for me gets over like a naturally aspirated V8 manual.
Oh yeah.
But this is some other stuff I want to hear. If I get into EV, give me sounds, give me something. And if that's an electric motor, it doesn't sound as nice as a V8, no, but it's still cool mechanical noise. Give me that, and that's
How would you feel about like a simulated V8 noise and a rumble in your seat? Would that just be too much for you?
Yeah, it would be too much. I mean, same
Try
as I
too
turn
hard,
it
right?
off here, right? It's just like embrace that you're not a V8. Don't pretend to be a V8.
Aren't they doing that with what's the new car coming out?
The Challenger,
Challenger.
EV Challenger thing. I'm curious how they do that, but acknowledge what you are, acknowledge what you aren't, and make the most out of it. It still sounds cool, don't get me wrong.
It does, yeah.
But I do like that raw electric motor sound. But let's come to a conclusion here. We're looking at $76,845 Canadian, which is honestly good. Like,
I mean, there's nothing cheaper that beats it.
the Mach-E GT I referred to is $25,000 more expensive, roughly. It's roughly $100,000.
Okay, I lied. Again, the Tesla's $600 cheaper. We don't know if it beats it. But
Yes.
it's a competitor.
The Tesla is on price a competitor. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
But even in isolation, for $76,000, I think the C40 Recharge was the same, but don't forget about it. This is really good. You just have to decide for yourself, do you need that engagement? Like, do you care about going fast?
Right.
Or do you want to have corner carving heroics? Going fast, this does extremely well. And will the reduced range compared to a regular EV6 impede on your daily life with the car? If these two drawbacks are not an issue for you, by all means, this is hilarious. Nobody will expect the Kia to be this quick.
I didn't.
Like, you can pull pretty much everyone, except for other EVs, probably like a 911.
I mean, it's so unassuming. You're going to pull up at a red light. No one's even going to look twice at you.
No, I mean, we've had it multiple times where we're 100 meters beyond the intersection while the cars next to us just crossed the line. That's how quick it is.
It's kind of wacky.
I love it.
So do I.
Good job, Kia.
Good.
Anyhow, thanks so much for watching, guys.
If you enjoyed this video, tune in, subscribe, like, turn on the bell notifications because we drop a new video every single week and we'd love to have you back.
And we'll see you there. Bye-bye.
See ya.